If you play Hytale like Minecraft, you'll ruin your first playthrough and most players won't realize until it's too late. Some of the devs have already hinted at some of these mistakes that we could make when first playing, but I feel like most players haven't truly realized what this could mean for them. The first mistake players will make is expecting Minecraft 2.0. Hytale is a lot closer to an RPG sandbox rather than a true sandbox game like Minecraft. It has a lot more focus on their progression, their combat, and many different systems, which is a lot more similar to a game like Terraria, whose focus is mainly on bosses, fighting, and dungeon exploring. If you go in with a fresh mindset, expecting a new, fun game, you'll most likely have fun. But if you go in expecting a new version of Minecraft, you're going to be presented with disappointment on early access. And that mistake directly leads into a much bigger one people won't see coming. And that's rushing straight into multiplayer. Yes, there'll be lots of temptation to join servers instantly, but players will get overwhelmed, underpowered, and confused. This is something that Minecraft players especially instinctively do when they play Minecraft, because yes, it's always more fun to play with friends, but I suggest spending 1 to 2 hours on a solo world first, just so you get to grips with the game, learn the combat, the crafting, and just the general UI of the game, so that when you go and play multiplayer, the game won't feel as intimidating. This next one is the fastest way to lock yourself out of content without realizing it, and that's ignoring the game's core systems. For example, the game will have tutorials and dialogue with NPCs, which are strictly there to help you understand the game. So if you skip these and just think, I'll figure it out on myself, you probably won't, because they're there for a reason. This hurts long-term enjoyment in most players, because players will get stuck and they won't know what to do, and they'll think, oh, but in Minecraft I can just do whatever I want straight away, and maybe they'll resort back to Minecraft. But I think the NPCs are there to teach about the game's crafting, the abilities, and the gear progression. So at least at the start, listen to what the game's telling you to do, listen to its teaching, because it will make the game way more fun in the long term. If you found anything that I've said interesting so far, consider subscribing. I'll be covering a lot more Hytale content in the coming weeks. This next one may come as a surprise to you, but I think modding too early will completely ruin your perception of the game and ruin your first playthrough. Let me explain. Many people on social media will be telling you, download this mod, it's amazing in Hytale. And while that may be true, I think Hytale's modding is very powerful, but it's also dangerous, because mods can break the balance, the progression, and the learning of the game. If you load into the game and you're immediately downloading a bunch of mods, you haven't really learned the core principles of the game, and so therefore you're going to be confused when those mods aren't there. I'm not telling you to never mod Hytale. I think modding is going to be a crucial part of the game's success, but I just think maybe for the first day, or at least the first few days, play the game in vanilla, and then if there's things you don't like about the game, maybe there's a mod to fix them. But for now, play vanilla, learn how the game is meant to be played by the creators, and then add some mods. It'll make it way more fun and less confusing, believe me. The last mistake, and perhaps the most important one, is expecting Hytale to feel like a fully finished game on day one. And this is what a lot of people haven't yet realized. The game's still in early access. It's not going to be a full release. Things will be broken. Systems may be incomplete. Balance will change, and there's going to be a lot of bugs. If you go into it thinking it's going to be a fully polished game, you're going to be disappointed for the wrong reasons. Going in with the wrong expectations will lead to frustration. You might quit early. People miss the fun because they're focused on the flaws. You need to treat early access as a way of exploring the game, learning the systems behind it, and giving feedback to the devs so that they can improve for the full release. If you go in with the right expectations, early access is actually where Hytale is going to be the most interesting, and I'll be covering what changes and improves as it develops. If you made it up to here, let me know what you're most excited about for Hytale, and consider subscribing. I'll be covering a lot of Hytale content in the weeks to come.